you've made it clear you want the 49ers to go get their quarterback in the draft. Do you think they will, though? Do you think they will draft a quarterback in round one? Keep in mind, we've just been saying they're in win now mode. They've signed a lot of guys in their 30s. They're saying they still want Jimmy Garoppolo. Do you think they would turn this team over to a rookie or spend a first round pick on a guy who wouldn't contribute to this win now effort?
I don't think they will, because it's kind of like we say, it's CYA with a lot of the moves they make. Yep. You know, we want to do it. We want to be bold, but then we don't want to be too bold. We don't want you to question too much what we do.
Right.
So let's do just enough to feel like we're going where we want to go, but to keep the media from asking too many questions, you know.
Right.
Like a lot of this stuff, people like, oh, well, they're so tight-lipped. Like a lot of this is still PR. Like the whole Lynch wanting to work together, like that was about how bad the bulky Harbaugh era was. Like it's all makeup at the end of the day. Like instead of just doing what's right, they're trying to do what people think is right.
Right.
You know, and they say they're not watching.
The path of least resistance. Yep.
Yeah.
And if you take the quarterback in round one, you open yourself up to, oh, so you were wrong about Jimmy then. And you admit it.
Right. So why is Jimmy still on the team?
Yeah, what's going on there?
Why are you paying a guy that you don't want?
It's like, oh, well, that's okay. Well, he could be a backup then.
Right. So see, that's why I feel like they like our idea, but I think what they'll do is like go later. And maybe not your guy Mod, but I think it'll be like second, third, kind of better type of deal. Like, well, we got a guy, but you don't have to think of him as the backup of the future, because look where we picked you. But at the same time, in their mind, like, you know, I think this guy might could be our answer. But you know, it's like remember, you're saying, like
Kyle drafted Kirk Cousins right at that spot, right around 100.
Right.
So he has
and you can get a lot of talent. Russell Wilson, wasn't he like a third rounder?
Yes.
Like, you know, Dak, I think, was a third rounder, or maybe later.
Early four. So like in the early 100s.
You can't find it there. But like nobody goes in with the hope that guy is the guy. Like, you know, Romo was the guy. Like Dak was like, oh, this is a quality guy who played in the SEC. You know, nobody picked him yet. Like, let's bring him in. And it just he was put on the right team.
That's right.
You know, so it worked.
But he wasn't drafted with the
expectation their best bet is to groom a guy.
Yeah, I think they gotta groom a guy. If they don't draft a guy this year, you're thinking, what are you thinking? Or do you really like Josh Rosen? Real quick, do you think the Niners have any attachment to Josh Rosen? Or I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think so. Not at all. Not at all. Why would you? He hasn't shown anybody much. He's just kind of moving around the league to the next place that wants to look at him. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind him being on the roster as kind of, you know, a third guy, just to see what he's got. I would have preferred them actually like to put him on the field, to like let the fan base get a look at him to even see. But like they like to hide things. Like it's like E-Man. You kept E-Man, but at the end of the year, like Crocker been saying, like you had him on the bench when he could have been in there playing. Like why? But he was on special teams, so you wasn't trying to protect him from injury. But you weren't playing him. But he's one of your first free agents you re-signed.
How do you explain that? I don't even.
I don't. Like I say, I think E-Man could play. Like, you know, the games, like he wasn't really getting burnt. Like people were making catches, but I don't feel like he was just getting toasted all year long. Like every time you look up, like, I mean, he's a gamer to me, you know, especially considering where he came from. I think undrafted free agents.
The only times I see him get beat are when he sort of like gets physically overmatched by big wide receivers at the catch point.
Yeah.
That's about it. He's usually right there, but sometimes he can look a little small, even though he's bigger.
He looked a little overmatched, like you said, physicality wise. And I mean, it would take years, but that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, like, why not have, like, it's his job. Let him be out there every down in training camp. Let him know, hey, you're the guy. Yeah. But they just kept kind of jerking him. Well, we're not sure. Witherspoon, Mosley, we still got Verrett coming along. Like, we're just not sure. And, you know, that's got to mess with his confidence a little bit. Like, I felt like I took this man's job last year, and y'all saying it's still somewhat his. It's just like the slot guy. Every year it's like Trent Taylor is still a thing. Finally, it might be over. But every year the slot guy had to have in the back of his mind, well, you know they actually want Trent in here.
Yeah.
So they actually drafted Witherspoon.
So what do they think
don't
of
really
me?
Want you, man.
Yeah. What do they think of me if they think Trent Taylor's better? Trent Taylor's terrible. So what do they think?
What are they seeing? Like, what is Richie James looking at on the sideline? He's like, it's like we're bad about Bourne being gone. Okay, and I know we've had plenty of injuries. Did Bourne ever put up numbers like James did in that Green Bay game?
No.
Like, no, because he's not that type of guy.
No.
Like, I don't care what the Patriots paid him. He's not that guy. James could be that guy. I think Richie James could be a heck of a player. But what do? You jerk him around.
Richie James is a hell of a player. That's another one that we don't really talk about. I mean,
that's somebody, if he left, I would like, okay, like when we face him, I think he is going to light our asses up for all the, past indiscretions he felt we put upon him.
When Niners quarterbacks targeted him last year, they were 23 of 35, and their quarterback rating was 113. I mean, you think he gets some more targets?
Yards per catch, like career-wise, are like what, like 15, 16 yards a catch? Like, it's crazy.
Hold on. It's 18.
18 yards a catch. 18. And the guy can't get on the field.
Can't get on the field. Maybe next year. We gotta put pressure on. They won't do it unless we tell them. All right, last question.
I think you need to start a campaign like you did with Juice. He got a few extra carries.
Because here's what's going to happen.
It's working, man. They listening.
Here's what's going to happen. The Niners are going to draft some wide receiver in round 2 because Kyle Shanahan can't help himself. He just can't help himself.
Right.
And that's too bad because they don't need to. They got Richie James. They don't need to.
Right. Now we got to waste that pick on another one.
Yeah, on the next Dante Pettis.